So this is the compiler project where we worked with a subset of C programming language. The compiler is supposed to compile the code and then generate a 8086 code, which I will later run in emu8086 to show that it works. It will generate an optimized assembly code as well. The main files are the parser files and the lexer files, where the patterns are stored, as well as the scope tables, the symbol tables, and symbol info. So let us run a code. So on my right we have a code test.c. We're gonna run this and generate the output, which will be an assembly code, and then I will run that assembly code in emu8086 to execute it. So our assembly code has been generated, as well as the optimized assembly code. We're gonna copy this and go to emu8086. And then try to run it. As you can see, the output are accurate. I was 1, println 1, so we got 1, and then 5 plus 8 is 13, so we got 13, and I is 1 plus 2 into j, which was 13, is 26, and we'll get 27. So the other outputs are accurate as well. We're gonna try running a few other code with functions to show that our compiler can accurately identify functions and then make assembly code with the implementation of the functions. So we have our assembly code. I'm gonna run this as well, just to see if everything works. And yeah, we got our output, which is 5. That is a is 1 and 2, so a is equals to function of g, which is basically function of a, which is 2 into a, which is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, return 5, and then we can print 5. So it works. It can handle loops as well. We're gonna test with a loop. So it's generated. Run it. And the loop worked accurately to generate the accurate results. This compiler not only generates accurate codes, but it can also generate logs for errors, and there can be types of errors: lexical error, semantic error, and syntactical error, which all are detected in this program. Let's try to find an error like that. This code has a bunch of errors. As you can see, the arrays cannot be a factor. effect cannot be a float number, and then you can't mod a float number, and a cannot be assigned here. So our already existing checker in the VS Code is detecting the errors, but let's run it with our compiler and see what errors we can get. We'll have to check the error log, and we got multiple types of errors. It can show that in line 6 we have an error, multiple declaration of C, as we can see that float C and int C is there. Line 7 also has an error, line 8 has an error type mismatch, that is I was integer but we're assigning float non-integer, and so we can get all the errors, as well as the log file is generated here with how the parser actually parses through the syntax. So that was all for my compiler project.